Hello there everyone and welcome to the Vintage Lace Layering Guide video. So first up I have the 3D embossing folder here, and all I've done is I've just taken a piece of white cardstock and run that through my die cutting machine to emboss this piece of cardstock. Once that's done, I'm going to take the first stencil and I'm going to place it around the flowers that we have embossed on the cardstock. For this layer here, I will be using the Coral Bliss ink. I'm just using a small blending tool just to add the ink through the open areas of the stencil to add the colour to the flowers. So once that has been done, I can then shift this stencil up a little, and I'm just going to add it into the little areas that have the petals and also that little flower center there. For the little flower center, I will be using the pumpkin pie ink. So I'm just going to squidge a little bit of that ink through that hole that we have there. And I'm just going to add an extra layer of the Coral Bliss ink through this part of the stencil that we have. Once that's done, I can then move this stencil over again, and this is going to colour in the little stems that we have on the embossed part of the cardstock. And for this one here, I am going to be using the mangrove root ink. So again, I'm going to take a small blending tool and just ink through the open parts of the stencil to add the colour through the stencil onto the embossed part of the stem image that we have. So once that has been done, I can move over onto stencil number 2. And for this one first, I'm just going to add in the top part that has some of the petals of these flowers in here. For the first time round, I am going to be using the Heartbeat ink. So I'm just going to add that through, and I'm adding kind of a light wash of this colour through the stencil this time. I can then move the stencil up, add that into place onto some more of the different petals that we have on the flowers, and this time around I am going to be using the Heartbeat ink again, but I am going to be adding a really dark layer of this one, so it's going to kind of look different from the ones that we've just done because we're kind of adding like 2 layers of ink this time around because we're adding a lot more ink than we did before. So once I am happy with the amount of ink that I have there, I can then remove this stencil and move on to the third one. So I have the third stencil here. I'm just going to finish off the rest of the little petals that we have on the image. This time round, I will be using the Vineyard Berry ink. This is a really dark red color. So again, I'm using a small blending tool just to add that ink through the stencil there. So once that has been done, I'm just going to shift that stencil down, and this is going to add all of the little leaves that we have. And I am going to be using the mangrove root again for this one here. So I'm just going to add that through a little more lightly than I did with the stems, just to add that beautiful gradient effect through the stencil. So once that has been done, that is all of the layering complete. We really do hope this video has helped. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again really, really soon. Bye-bye.